All right, guys. Good morning. How we doing? Friday. Friday is always a good day. Get to relax for a few days and then back to work, right? Unless you're a crypto trader and it's nonstop. I've actually been. I guess I'll share this. I've been buying a lot of Ethereum lately. Whether it's good or not, I've been wanting to move some of my cash into Ethereum instead of sitting in my bank account. I think it's smarter. It's really not good to keep too much cash in a checking account that's giving you absolutely nothing. I have an amount that I'm comfortable with in my long term. I don't want to get too over leveraged in my long term just because of where the market is. And of course, you could say crypto market's pretty high too, but that's what I've been doing lately, moving some cash into Ethereum, just buying some Ethereum, letting it sit in there. Thought I'd update you if anyone's interested. I also have the Mana token. I've been buying some of that as well. So I'm not a big crypto guy, so don't come here for crypto. I'm not a crypto guy. That's why I just stick to Ethereum, the easy stuff. Maybe a little bit of Solana and Avalanche. I've had a little bit of that. Those are, I guess, Ethereum competitors. But yeah, I'm not a big crypto guy, so if I'm wrong by any of that, let me know. DM me. But anyways, how's everyone doing? Good morning. AMD was fantastic yesterday. Thank you, Quentin. From the pre-market live stream, if you guys were here, then you saw what we talked about on AMD, and it worked out beautifully. And I guess that's because technical analysis is fake. That's probably what it is. I'll also show you an example on Roblox that we talked about yesterday. Held an absolutely perfect level. I don't want to stake my Ethereum because I want it to be liquid. That's the only problem, Juan. I want it to be liquid because I plan to use that money. On an investment property in the future. I just need to store it somewhere. It's sort of like a store of the money rather than trying to get a percent interest on it. Maybe I'll stake some of it, but I want to keep a lot of it liquid. So today is Friday. We have a little bit of sideways action here in the pre-market. Nothing really going on. Yesterday, we really just consolidated for the most part on the Nasdaq. We were at points a little bit concerned with the demand level that we needed to hold. It was right around that 16,000 level. We did hold it for the most part. Got a little bit nasty end of day. For the most part, yesterday was again a pretty nasty little downtrend. But for if you look at it, we'll look at it zoomed out. It was really just a nice little consolidation. There's a trend line that I'm keeping an eye out for, and that's why you see the title of this live stream. The market needs to hold this trend line. And I'm going to show you that trend line today. I think this is a very crucial trend that if we break, I think you probably get more downside. If we continue to consolidate and hold above it, then I think that we get a push higher. So that's what we're going to look at, and of course we'll look at a few stocks today as well. Today is Friday. Is it a day you want to be putting a ton of risk on the table? Probably not. So do you recommend open new positions? I would probably, if you find some pullbacks you like, then maybe put a little bit of risk on. So like, for example, AMD was one that I liked. I liked Netflix yesterday. I didn't buy Netflix yesterday. We'll talk about Netflix. Worked out really well, the support level we were watching. Costco was one that I liked yesterday. So there's a few like pullbacks that I'm liking, but nothing that I would go ahead and put, a couple thousand on. For like another big swing trade right now. Not personally. I'm still a little indecisive on this overall market right now. So until I start to see that same type of until I start to get that conviction that I had back in late October, early November, to put on some bigger trades, then I'm probably just going to lay low and reduce my risk and manage my capital. It's I think a lot of people say this all the time. You don't need to be trading every day. You don't need to have a trade on every single day. Only take trades you like, guys. Try to keep your win to loss ratio high. Only take good trades. I think a lot of people get sucked up by having to take a trade every single day. So Today, futures. Today's the 12th, right? Futures as always. Nothing really on the earnings calendar this morning. You have AstraZeneca. I'm just going to skip it. You guys can check it out if you want. AstraZeneca reported this morning. So Tesla, we'll take a look at Tesla. I like to keep an eye on Tesla here because it's in an interesting level. It pulled back to the 20 SMA on the daily chart. It's been consolidating. So it's still very much worth watching. AMD, we'll talk about it. If you watched my video yesterday, I have a full breakdown of my trade on AMD. You can go ahead and look at that. You guys can go ahead and watch that on the channel after if you want. J&J, a little bit of news this morning. They're splitting up their two companies between their pharmaceuticals and their consumer products. I believe that's what it was. So, those, getting a little bit of a pump on J&J. The daily chart doesn't look too bad. I'm going to show you guys J&J today. Costco, trade setup. So I actually really like this trade setup. And the other part that I like about Costco is it's taking you away from the tech sector a little bit. So if you think tech weakens, Robert Davenport, thank you so much, sir. Thanks for joining the priority members. If you guys are, now let me just quickly pause there. If you guys are a member of the YouTube channel, not the Discord, this is for YouTube. If you're part of the Discord, you can definitely shoot me a DM in the mornings if you want. But if you are a part of the YouTube channel, you guys go to the link that I just sent in the live chat. You can go ahead. If you scroll down, you're gonna see this link right here. There's gonna be a link here. If you are a member, you will see this. If you are not a member of the YouTube channel, you will not see this. But if you are, you can go ahead and press it, and you can go ahead and put a ticker in for today's live stream under the date 11/12. Sorry, I didn't update that. Let me put an 11/12 there. So put it in 11/12. We can go ahead and look at the stuff that you want to look at. So make sure to do that if you're a member. Take advantage of what you're getting there. So Costco trade setup. Affirm pulled back to a very key level, and it held it beautifully yesterday. Very nice consolidation, and this was a key level that it's held for a very long time. So once again, technicals are all fake. This is magic, but we're going to look at it anyway. I'm going to keep on using that joke because that was good yesterday. Coin, Riot, Mara, all sort of chilling in there. Coin coming back nicely yesterday. Riot and Mara. So they're all sort of holding in there, and yes, we got a little bit of a pullback on the cryptos this morning, and that's why you're starting to see them a little bit down in the pre-market. That's the one risk you run when you trade these stocks. When you trade Riot, Mara, Coin, MicroStrategy, etc., you're gonna always be exposed to that overnight move on Bitcoin, on all the cryptos. So just be aware of that. Snow melting higher. You see what I did there? Melting higher. So snow's just been on a crazy uptrend. It's nonstop. I like to see a pullback before I get into something like this because it just goes up every single day almost, it seems. It's on a very slow trend. It's just sort of melting higher, but it definitely looks good. Netflix is the next. Very nice hold on Netflix. Nice little demand zone that held yesterday, and we bounced off of it. So I really like that. And finally, we'll look at EV small caps. I just sort of named this EV small caps. We'll look at Lucid, Rivian. We'll look at Neo, XPEV. And I also sort of think that QS can be sort of grouped into that EV hype. You guys, we talked about QS yesterday. One of the members on YouTube actually recommended that, and it went crazy yesterday. So that was a great call out. Hopefully whoever put that in the Google Docs took that play. QS, a huge move yesterday, has to do with lithium batteries, right? And that sort of groups into the whole EV hype. So I think that's one to watch, honestly, because they're a supplier of, if they're a supplier of the batteries, I mean, every company's going to need that, right? Now, I don't know the exact details of if they're the main supplier, if they're just a little guy. I don't know fundamentals on QS, but we will look at it because it's definitely a good possibility. Yeah, I'm just calling it EV small caps, guys. It's not like I'm not like a Jesus. It's just a little term that I group it in. It's not. It could be wrong, But yes, you're right. Rivian is definitely not a small cap if you look at their market, their inflated market cap right now. But that's what I like to call it. They're all little small caps. So whether you like it or not, that's what I'm calling it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Nasdaq, being prosperous. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. So here is the Nasdaq, guys, and here is the hourly chart. That's what I was looking at it on. Here we go. Hourly chart. So you guys can see, I'm actually going to remove the moving averages, and it'll be a little bit more clear here. Here you go. Here is the last, actually, let me grab 30 days. Yeah, little mini Teslas, that's what I'll call it. Mini Tesla stocks. I like that. All right, so here's the trend, guys. And that's, you can probably see it on your screen. I think we need to hold this trend. This is like the biggest thing here, I think, for the market in the very short term. I think if we break this trend, you get downside. But we have held it. We've held it here, right? That's where it started. We bounced off of it here, bounced off it here, bounced off it again here. We sort of trended higher, came back down to it on Wednesday, bounced off of it yesterday, and held, for the most part, along this move. Now, if you get this, it's very clear that that is not good, right? That is not good. You do not want to see this breakdown, because that is clearly making, breaking this uptrend, and that is clearly going to cause some downside pressure on this market. Now, if you hold this trend, I could easily see the case for looking at something like this, right? You could easily see that case. It's the same thing that's happened, over the last, say, it's about a month-long uptrend. This is just under a month of an uptrend. This is the 18th of October. So about 6 days from now, you could call it a monthly uptrend. But this is about a month of time. This is the uptrend that is held for about the last month on the Nasdaq. So I could see it being something very much like this. You guys can see we pulled back, we chopped around, and then we continued higher off of it. Do we get that here? Really, all you have to see is a hold of this trend line and an engulfing price action above this level. If you engulf, if you engulf this price action, the highs of yesterday pre-market, if you engulf that price action, I would say yes, you are probably on your way to a higher high, and you're probably on your way to hold this uptrend back to the upside, right? That is what I would be watching. So there's your trend. You need to engulf this high. The high of this candle is 16,114. 16,114, guys. Make sure you have that on your chart. 16,114. If we engulf that, if we break above that, then I think you are on your way to more upside, because that right there would put in a higher high and you would have made a higher low, right? These are higher lows in the market. You have a low here, here's a higher low, here's another potential higher low, but you need to bounce off of this. If you bounce off of this, higher low, higher high, when you have higher lows and higher highs, you're starting to change trend, you're starting to create an uptrend. So maybe you start to move up like this, and then you can go ahead and continue to the upside. So that is what I'm watching, guys, on the Nasdaq. This is what I would be focused on here on the overall Nasdaq market. If you are not understanding of this, you should not be playing tech stocks, because if this breaks down, if you get in an Apple call, AMD call, Nvidia call, Facebook call, Amazon call, Tesla call, Netflix call, anything that is in the tech sector, if this goes like this, you will lose money. So this needs to hold, and you need to be paying attention to what this Nasdaq is doing. So that's what I'm watching. It's very simple, and I don't think you need to complicate this. If you hold this trend, I think you're fine. If you do not, then downside, I would say, is definitely coming. Probably back down to these lows at the very least. And if it goes any lower, probably down to around this 15.8 area. That's what I would say. So that's the Nasdaq. That's what I'm watching. Let's go ahead and put back on the moving averages. There we go. So you're sort of holding, yeah, you're sort of holding them. They're actually starting to act as a little bit of resistance here, the 50 on the hourly chart. So I'm not too concerned. I will keep an eye on that, but the uptrend is the big one. Little box on the screen that shows a ticker. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I mean, I'd have to figure out, I need to figure out a way for OBS, because I use OBS. So this is OBS, right? I need a way for OBS to somehow automatically change the, basically I would need to use probably a band, like a image on OBS. You can use like images. You can do like display captures, video captures, image captures. So I would need some kind of active image that moves when the ticker. I don't know how to do it, but I'll have to figure it out. So that's the Nasdaq. Here's the ES. I didn't quite look to see if the ES had the same trend line. Let's go ahead and take a look together right now. I don't think it does. Let me see. So you have this. Let's just draw it. Yeah, you sort of do, actually, now that I look at it. Let's go ahead and delete the moving averages again, because I sort of just want to see this just trend. I don't want to see the averages just now. So there you go. Same exact thing, guys. Very clean. Here's your hourly chart, and here is your trend. So you can see you hold here once, hold here again, started here, and you held it yesterday. So it's the same exact thing. If you engulf this price action right around this 46.61, 46.60, then I think you are moving to the upside. But you need to engulf this price action right here. This previous high from yesterday, right here, 46.60. If you break that, I think you are on your way to new highs. So, ES, Nasdaq, guys, hourly chart. You guys need to be looking at that. Look at this uptrend here on the hourly chart. Let's see if the Dow has the same thing. I would expect it not to have the same thing, but yeah, this is not as clean. I mean, you can draw this, but there's only 2 touches of this, so I wouldn't say this is too solidified. There's only 1 and 2 touches of this trend, but I don't know what this is all. Maybe I was just messing around with this. Let's go ahead and delete these. Let's clean this up a little bit. So here you go. Here's the Dow. A little bit of a pullback. I think the more important thing was the hold of these previous. Let me go ahead and go back to the 4-hour. 4-hour. Let me put back on the moving averages. So the Dow is trying to hold. It's sort of just choppy in this level. I mean, you have sort of this level here, this 35.8. But it's pretty choppy on this grind higher. You guys can see it just sort of up, down, sort of stair-stepping higher. Not really a structural point that looks too solid. You're trying to hold here right now. It looks like at 35.8. 35.850 is where you've sort of consolidated for the last few days. The big level, I would say, is these previous highs right here. This would be the big level. You guys can see previous highs turned into support. This area in the 35.5s. That would be my big level. If we do come back, that is sort of a must hold. Because if you break that, then you're getting back down. You're giving up basically, that's like 3-4 months of price action you'd be giving up if you break down below these previous highs at 35.5. So 35.5 on the Dow, that's the big hold in my opinion. So that is the futures, guys. ES and Nasdaq, I'm a little bit more concerned over. I'm not too concerned about the Dow. If you see Dow outperformance, then clearly you can play some of those plays. But the trend line on the ES and the Nasdaq that we showed here, those are very clean trend lines. They seem to be respected for now. Those need to hold up. If those break down, then I think you start to look for more downside. Yeah, you do have some Dow stock earnings next week. That's a very, very good point. Thank you, William, for pointing that out. All right, Tesla. Yeah, it's all right. I know you can. It's just easier. And then I have a set. If you guys are unaware, you can use sets in Thinkorswim. You can use sets and like put like a group of things you want to put on the chart, and then you can just apply the set. So maybe easier than having to redo like the moving averages every time. Tyler, it's not that kind of thing. I don't really like this. This is not like a, a strict academy course BS sort of. It's just a trading community that, we discuss our trades, we talk about our trades, we learn from each other. There's no like, you got to start with this amount and I can turn it into this amount. That's not how people should look at trading. So you got to start with whatever you're comfortable with, man. Trading, but don't that's not why I'm here. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like let me go ahead and turn your 2,000 into 10,000. That is definitely not what I'm doing. And the priority membership, that's just YouTube. That's just like for you to be on the streams and put in the tickers that you want to look at. All right, so here's Tesla, and here is the 20 SMA hold that we got on not yesterday, on Wednesday. Wednesday, nice 20 SMA hold for the most part. And yesterday we pulled back a little bit, but we are so far holding above that 20 SMA. I like that. Here is this green area you guys see on the chart here. This is a gap that I've been eyeing. I think a lot of you guys, how come I skipped I always forget about the Russell. I'll look at it in a second. Here's a gap that I've been eyeing on Tesla. You guys can see there's a gap from around 945 to 910. It's about a $35 gap here on the chart. This was back when Tesla started to make its run. So does Tesla have to come back and fill that gap? We'll see. Does it have to come back and fill that gap back to around 910? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to take a look. So 20 SMA, that's something I definitely want to watch. But if we start to lose this, then that gap could be filled eventually. Now, something you guys should know about gap fills, there's no time limit to when gap fills can be, will be filled. This gap fill could fill in 4 months from now, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. This does not have to be filled in the next few weeks, right? So we can move higher, something could make the market fall, and Tesla could go ahead and fill that gap, maybe in like 4 or 5 months. So if you're trying to play that gap fill, you need to be aware that it's very difficult to time something like that. So just be aware of it. Know that, there is a gap there on the chart, and technically stocks like to fill those gaps, but the timing aspect, the timing variable of when that happens is a total unknown. So 20 SMA, I like that hold from yesterday. If we go to the 4 hour, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we held this 1,000 level. I mean, that's really the level, right? Psychological 1,000 mark. You guys can see it bounced there back in Tuesday, like 3 weeks ago, and then held it here again on Wednesday of this week. Bounced off of it, pulled back. At this point, guys, you just need to see some higher lows be formed, higher lows, higher highs. He is selling because he sees competition coming and coming strong. Oh, Elon. Yeah. Did he sell more shares yesterday? Did that come out? I said that yesterday when I was watching. I said that to myself. I did mention it in the Discord. I said Elon must be selling more shares right now because Tesla's price action yesterday was just total crap. And it looked like the day that he sold shares back on Monday of this week. Did he actually sell shares yesterday, or is that just you saying something? Let me know if you guys can confirm. He did? Yeah, I sort of felt like he was. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was watching the Tesla price action all day yesterday, and it was so weird. It was just continuous sort of slippage and just downside. I felt like he was. You could sort of see that he was yesterday. If you just look at this price action, this is sort of, it's very strange. And that was just a total guess, but that's funny that's actually what happened. So, when someone's selling that many shares of Tesla, you're probably going to get a pretty muted move because, all the buyers are going to buy it up, but it's just going to be a very stagnant move. So you can see, look at what Tesla did yesterday. That's sort of interesting. So that might be why you got that consolidation yesterday. So it looks like Elon may be on like a scheduled selling over, I don't know, guys. I know a lot of people out there right now are like losing their shit because they're like, oh, this is so wrong and, this is just crazy. I don't pay attention to that stuff, guys. I don't care. Elon can do whatever he wants. I think Elon at base level is a very smart person. He is, one of the very few people in this world that is trying to innovate and potentially change our future. There's not many people like Elon out there really trying to do things like that. So I'm very appreciative of what he's doing and what he's trying to accomplish with not only Tesla, EV vehicles for the future, but also with SpaceX, guys. I mean, SpaceX is something special. If you don't think SpaceX is something special, then we just can't agree on things. But SpaceX is just incredible. What they've been doing, landing rockets, having a rocket come back to Earth and landing, it's just crazy. The cost savings of that, the technology that they're building, I think it's incredible. So I'm not going to get too much into I don't care, I'm not happy that Elon's selling shares, but I think he has the right to. He has every right to sell his shares. How he does it, maybe you're not happy with, but so Tesla, sort of stagnant here. Yeah, a lot of people don't like billionaires, man. I don't know why. A lot of people just get mad at other people's success. So you have this downtrend. Here. And that's probably what I'll be watching. You guys can see it right here. This little downtrend that Tesla's been on. Let me go ahead and delete the moving averages. The chat's going to become a shitstorm of Elon haters here soon, I'm sure. So you have this little downtrend that seems to be holding pretty nicely. So you need to see that breakout, and $1,000 needs to hold. That's sort of what I'm watching for. So $1,000 hold, downtrend. We need to see maybe you get one more downside move to 1,000, a little bit of consolidation, and then maybe you get your break. But you definitely need to hold the $1,000 mark. And if you guys want to see upside on Tesla, then you need to see this break of this downtrend. That's what I would be saying. You guys can see pretty strict downtrend, pretty sharp. You need to see that start to move higher. So that downtrend on your chart, I would have that 30-minute chart, hourly chart. That is what I would. That's what I would be looking at. So AMD. So guys, yesterday I took an AMD call. I bought it off this consolidation. Yes, this is Thinkorswim. So I went ahead and we were watching this 142 level on AMD. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. You guys can see these previous highs from back on Friday of last week, 142 highs. We moved below it back on Wednesday. We came back above it on Thursday yesterday, and we held it very nicely in the morning. So we held that very nice hold above 142. When we started to move higher off of it. So if I zoom in here, you guys can see we actually held that 142 all morning, started to hold it, and got a nice move. So I am in AMD right now. I know it's moving down a little bit pre-market. I'm really not concerned about giving up a pre-market or an after-hours move yesterday. We're sort of trying to hold this 145.50 area, which will be my next level to be watching, right? So right here around 145.50, if we can hold that, that would be very nice. That would be a higher low, and we can continue higher off of it. So that's what I'm watching today, 145.50, and that 142 hold yesterday was absolutely beautiful. I'm definitely looking for upside here on AMD today. If it looks weak into close today or at midday today, I'll probably take my profits. I'm not going to swing something over the weekend that looks weak. I just want to quickly show you Roblox because this is quite incredible. So we were talking about Roblox yesterday, and we were talking about this level here, this 93.27. If you guys were here, it was pretty funny. We're talking about this 93.27 technical level, right? This was a previous high from back in May of this year. Now, someone in the chat who clearly doesn't like technical analysis was saying that technicals are fake, and this is all just BS. But what I want to show you is yesterday when the market opened. Here is what happened. So this is the green level we were watching, right? This is our demand zone that I have on the daily chart. And look at yesterday morning. So straight down, where did we hold up when we moved straight down? We held right here in this area. And if you would have bought here in this area, you would have made an absolute killing on Roblox yesterday, because it went ahead, held up, and exploded out of this for about a 7-point move. I think that alone proves that you can use technical levels to trade off of. Some people are still probably not going to believe it, but this is a very clear previous high from back in May. We pulled right back to it, almost perfect, almost, a few times here. Yesterday morning alone, an absolutely gorgeous pullback right to that level. If you were a buyer in this level, boom, straight up. That's a great entry. I missed it. I was talking about it pre-market yesterday. I missed it. It's very hard to take all the trades I talk about here, but that was very nice. So I just quickly want to show that was a very nice hold on Roblox. I would continue to watch that level at 93.27, 93 area, a little bit of a range. Probably give it about a 50-cent range, but anywhere in that 93, I would expect there to be some support. J&J this morning had a little bit of news. They're splitting up their company between their health business, consumer health business, and what is it? I think they're pharmaceutical. What is this? What is the split? What are they calling it? Okay, separate consumer and drug. So consumer business and their drug businesses. So I guess their pharmaceuticals and their consumer products, consumer health products. So they're splitting up those two companies today. I mean, you got to move off of it. I don't think J&J is a momentum play guy, so I probably wouldn't trade J&J for momentum. But if you want to add this to your long-term portfolio, I think this is a pretty nice spot. You guys can see it double bottomed here on the daily chart, starting to move higher. You're up to around 167 here in the pre-market. So that's up to around this 100 SMA. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. So here you go. You guys can see, here's the 4-hour over the last few days. Nice little hold to this double bottom, starting to sort of move higher. I would definitely keep an eye on it. If for a long-term portfolio, I don't think you can lose on this one. On J&J, just, it's obviously not a big mover. Probably, just a good value name for a long-term if you have interest. And I think you're probably getting a little bit of a discount right now on it, rather than buying it back here in the 180s. So J&J, interesting news this morning, starting to move higher. Definitely worth a watch. Costco. Costco's a beast, man. I don't trade Costco much, but this is just a beast, this stock. I mean, look at this. Look at this chart. So what a beast of a name. Costco, obviously everyone loves it. But there's something quite interesting here that I actually really quite like. And here it is, guys. So you can see on the daily chart, we'll break this down more, but on the daily chart, you can see this little gap that occurred, right? Gap up here from the 3rd to the 4th of November. Now, we came back and filled that gap. We filled that gap right there on the 8th. So what was that? 4 days ago. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, it was Monday. So Monday, we got the gap fill right here in this little area, this 502 area, held that level, and you can see we're starting to, curl off of it. So a little bit of a gap fill, a little bit of a push higher. I think there's opportunity. I think Costco could have opportunity for more upside here. I know it's a little extended, but this little pullback to the gap fill is actually quite nice. Something that I am definitely watching. So here we go. Here's the level. Let me go to I think I was looking at this on what was I looking at this on? The hourly chart, maybe? Yeah, here's the hourly. So here's the hourly, guys. You guys can see nice little push higher, nice little retest. That was where the gap occurred, right in this area. You guys can see a nice little double bottom over Monday and Tuesday of this week, 1 and 2. Nice double bottom, starting to push off of it. I think if you get this break here of around 514.50, then you probably start to get the push back to new highs. So I like this. I like this little chart. This could be like a little short-term trade. I wouldn't say this is too long of a trade here, but I really like the pullback that's giving you. I like this. I like this double bottom. Yeah. So actually, you're right. The 9 EMA on the daily chart. If you guys use that 9 EMA on the daily chart, look at this. Look at that 9 EMA in the daily chart right there. That's the blue line. So pullback, 9 EMA, perfect hold, and a very nice push higher. Yeah, Mike, I appreciate that, Mike. I remember you got it. Did you end up holding, Mike? It looks good again. I think you were right. So here's a good example, guys. Mike's in the Discord chat. He put Costco on my radar. He got into it. He got into it, unfortunately, a day prior to it giving a little bit of a pullback, right? He got into it here, I believe, on Tuesday. It gave a little bit of a pullback on Wednesday. Of course, with the rest of the market, not a big deal. It is what it is. Now, whether Mike took profits or if he sold or not and sold for a small loss, it really doesn't matter. He was, that's an example of seeing the right things. Maybe you manage it a little bit wrong, in hindsight. But if you can find the right stuff, guys, even if you do take losses or stuff does not work against you, if you find something and it ends up working out just as you expected, whether you're in it or not, that is a positive. That is a plus because you know that you're looking at the right stuff. That is almost just as important as making money. If you can find the right plays, if you can find the right setups, if they work out, whether you're in it or not, then you're on the right track, guys. So whether you're getting Costco here or not, if you're here in the live stream and you're looking at this play and you're like, oh, that makes sense, I like that. See what happens. See if it works out. If it works out, then then you know what you have to look for. You need to look for that same type of setup. These setups will happen all the time. So just if you can start to find that rhythm of looking for the right stuff, whether you're in it or not, then you're on the right track. So I like Costco here. I like that setup. We'll see what happens. So keep an eye on it. Affirm. So Affirm, this is a crazy chart in Affirm. Let me go back to the SMAs. This is a very interesting chart on Affirm, guys. I mean, just really wild. It almost looks like it's 2 days to the downside, but this candle is actually to the right of this candle, which threw me off today. It almost looks like it should be like down and down. So it almost looks like the stock's at 131. The stock's actually up here around 151. So very weird because you gapped up on earnings and you moved back lower, right? So this is still a red candle technically because a daily candle is from open to close. And from open to close, ignoring the after hours and pre-market, Affirm was down yesterday, technically. So that's why this candle is red. Now, you can see where we pulled back to is very obvious. It's a very clear technical level. It is magic at the same time, but it is a very clear technical level. Right here, guys. Here you go. 148.50, 150. Look how many times we have held this level. This is multiple times. 1, 2, 3, and 4 yesterday. You could probably even call it 5 here. But this is a very solid level on Affirm. Now, if you break it, like we did on the day prior of earnings, if you break it, then you might get some downside. So you definitely have to be concerned if it does break down here. Maybe there's a little bit of volatility post-earnings here. But if you hold it for the most part, which if we go into the 1-minute chart from yesterday, you guys can see this level that we circled there on the daily or on the 4-hour is right here. This is no joke, right? This is the level. So look how many times you bounced off of this yesterday. If you were looking at Affirm yesterday and you knew that this level was here, all you could have done was, okay, this is a nice zone. I like this strength here at this level. It's held multiple times in the past. Maybe I take a trade off of it. And, it worked out in the short term. We'll see if it works out in the long term. But definitely a nice hold, double bottom, right in that green demand zone. You did get a nice pop off of it. Probably just a little bit of short sellers covering. That's probably what this was. There's probably a lot of shorts that said, hey, this thing looks like it's holding up. It may be time to cover because this thing could bounce. So that's probably why you got this big push. But for the most part, guys, just keep an eye on this 148, 149 area. If it holds up, then I would definitely look for a firm upside. It's bounced off that level multiple times. So if we go back to the hourly, look at the moves that Affirm has given you off this level. Now, I know this is pretty crazy right here. This is some wild price action. I've never really seen a stock move like this. That's pretty ridiculous. But in the past, when things were a little bit more normal, you've gotten a, let's just call it 18% move here, about a 10% move here, about a 12% move here, and if you call it from here, about a 7% move. So you've had some nice moves off this level. I'm not saying it's for sure going to happen again, but it's something I would keep an eye out for. Coinbase. So Coinbase had earnings. I really wish I got into this one. I was thinking about grabbing some January calls on Coinbase, like back on Wednesday. Actually, no, it was Wednesday, right around this area. We did push higher, pulled back. Nice grind higher yesterday. And I think we just need to watch this 347 area, these previous highs. That is what I'm going to be watching. So let me go to the closer term time frames here. Here you go, guys. This is the level I'm watching, and we need to get above. So right here, you guys can see it's very obvious. You have previous lows, previous support, 1 and 2, that turned directly into resistance. So I can't make this up. This is not voodoo magic. This is previous support that turned into resistance. Now, this will turn into resistance again if this does not have strength, right? If this is a weak move higher, it will definitely turn into resistance again. I would like to see it break above and sort of continue past this level. If it does, then I think you have some nice strength on Coinbase. You have a little bit of a trend here. It's a little bit sloppy, so I'm not really sure I want to show it. I want to trust it. You have a little bit of this trend. It's been bouncing off of it for the most part. Little sloppy. Could be something that does this, which is very nasty. If you see something like this, that would be nasty. That's a little bit of a bearish move there. Or if you get this move, right? Or if you get the break above 347. So I think Coinbase is doing something interesting here. I would definitely watch it. If you continue to like crypto long term, if you continue to like Bitcoin long term, then this could be a play for you. So I like it. 347.50 is the area to break, and you need to see that trend line hold. Riot just can't get above 40 right now, guys. That's the level that we need to break. So 40, I know it's a little sloppy past 40, like it's up and down, sort of past it, back under. So you're sort of getting up to like the 41s, 42s. But for the most part, I think 40 is the level that's holding it down. I think 40 is that level that people are playing off of. So 40 is having a little bit of a problem. We have been making lower highs a little bit here, so that's a little bit concerning. You need to see this thing break out and make a higher high. So you need to see yesterday's highs break right here, right around $40.70 in the after hours yesterday. You want to see that break out on Riot. If that breaks out on Riot, then I think you can get a push. This is lower lows, so it's a little concerning. And then the $40 resistance. If we go to the daily chart, we can see why that's occurring, right? So here's the daily chart. Here's 40, and it's very clear that is why this resistance is coming in. So right here in this area, very tough. You're going to need to see a break of that. If you do, I bet you there's a move here, especially if Bitcoin gets going. Mara, clearly outperforming Riot. I would love to see it back here to 57. That would be great. A move back here to 57 would be a great entry in my opinion, and then you can get that bounce off of it. So personally, I'm going to be looking at Riot more than Mara. I think Mara's ship has sailed a little bit, and I think Riot could play catch up. So I'm going to play probably Riot if I see more upside with like cryptos and that momentum's there. And maybe if Mara pulls back to this 57, I'll take a look at it. Snow. So Snow's up to 376 here in the pre-market. Very nice pre-market here on Snow. Snow's just been killing it, man. So look at this daily chart. And it just continues to ride higher here. We were playing this back in this area before earnings. Unfortunate that we missed this move. But very nice move. Holding the 20 SMA, pulled back to the 50 right here. This was a fantastic entry. Missed that as well, unfortunately, again. But a very nice pullback to that 50 SMA. Very nice pushback higher. At this point, guys, I need to be patient, right? I need to be patient for a pullback. I need to see either a 20 SMA pullback or a 50 SMA pullback. Those are the two pullbacks that I want to see. If I see the 20 SMA pullback, then maybe I'll get in on that. If I see that, imagine that's your SMA. Turn it blue just for fun. Imagine that's your SMA, your 20 SMA. If I see that pullback, then I'll probably look for maybe an entry. If I see the 50 SMA pullback, that would definitely be something I would be interested in. So if I turn this yellow just to see it a little bit better, if I see pullbacks to these previous lines, these moving averages, then I'll definitely be interested in a play. So that's what I'm waiting for. So I'm going to try to keep an eye on this, see if I get those pullbacks. If I do, I'll look for a play. I mean, this thing it's really not in much resistance here. I mean, there was these highs here, but those, wow. Wow, I just realized that. That's really nice. Look at this, guys. Look at this level. You guys see this previous high right here? Back from December of last year? Look at where we held up. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Look at that. Look at that hold yesterday. Wow. Actually, no, this was Wednesday. Look at this right here. See this hold? That little bounce right there? That was perfect. Right off these previous highs. Little retest right there. That's really strong. So, it's out there, man. It's out there. The plays are out there. You just got to find them. It's more about a little bit of a treasure hunt than anything. I mean, you know when if you're looking at the right stuff, you know what to look for. That's beautiful. If you would have caught that beforehand, that would have been a nice trade. It's just a treasure hunt of trying to find these plays, right? So that's really nice. Previous highs pulled back, absolutely gorgeous bounce off that zone. Look at that right there on Wednesday, right off the level, and yeah. I would just watch Snow for a pullback at this point, guys, because you're up here around 377. You're a little extended here. So sometimes you got to accept that you missed it. But that's very nice on Snow. Netflix. We've been talking about this almost every day on the stream, and I absolutely love what's setting up here. This is a play that I am actually very interested in getting into. So Netflix, guys, we've talked about this on every day of this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now today on Friday. What kind of magic to use today? Yeah, that's a very magical one on Snow. I had to use a lot of magic on that technical analysis. So previous highs on Netflix. This one's pretty magical too. There's a lot of magic involved in this one. Previous highs on Netflix. Look at the double bottom that formed, and look at the push that we got off of it yesterday. Now, I'll look at, you can see it even better if you break this down. Look at what's occurring right now. So you have the double bottom, right? Very nice. Double bottom off that previous high. That's a little bit of a retest hold. Now what you're getting now is you're getting a hold of these previous engulfing highs. You guys can see right here. Look at this. So you have, I'm ignoring the wicks. You can see the body of this candle here, body of this candle here, little high here. If you draw this level out, look what you're getting now. Look at where the pre-market is holding. You pulled back right to this level. Now, not only that, if you look at it intraday yesterday, look at where you held intraday yesterday. You pushed higher. You pulled back. Look at the hold off this level. Look at the bounce. We slipped yesterday. Where did we hold up yesterday after the slip? Right here. It's no coincidence. It's the exact same level right here. So, this is another little break and retest on a smaller term time frame. This is a great chart setup. If this trade doesn't work out, then you can't do anything about it. You have to just take your loss, because this is a trade setup that I will take almost 8 out of 10 times, maybe even 9. I will take this trade setup any time of the day. I know it's a little bit questionable with the Nasdaq, but I will definitely take a trade setup like this with the risk I'm willing to lose. If it doesn't work out, there's just nothing you can do, guys. Sometimes trades just don't work out, right? This is a trade that looks good. It's a perfect previous high hold right here. Perfect previous high hold. Push higher. An even smaller time frame in previous high hold right here. Look at this. Previous highs. You're holding off of it. So it's great. It's a great setup. Technicals look good. Now things can make this go wrong. Netflix news come out. Fundamentals could come out. The CEO could be in a scandal. The CEO could shut down the whole business and say we're moving to Mexico. There's things that could happen that make this doesn't work. But sometimes you have to take those calculated risks, right? So this is an example of taking a calculated risk on a play that looks good. Whether it works out or not, it doesn't mean you're a bad trader. It doesn't mean you're just an idiot. It just means the trade didn't work out. You looked at the right stuff, but things happen. So that's why risk management is so important, because not every trade is going to work out, no matter how good it looks. Just because I think Netflix looks great here does not mean I'm going to go ahead and put my life savings on the line because I'm trying to become rich overnight. So I like it. I would keep an eye on it. 646 is this level, and 658 is this level. If I was in this, I'd look for a longer term play, maybe some Decembers, some Januaries, give yourself some time, reduce that volatility. I'm not saying you guys should be taking this. This is not advice, trading advice. This is just me sharing a chart with you. So don't come back here and get all upset if it doesn't work out. All right, that's Netflix. I love it. We'll go over these ones quick, guys, because we got to get into some of the stuff the members want to look at. Rivian, just keep an eye on it. It's on a nice trend. IPO momentum. That's risky, but I would definitely watch it. Lucid, getting some momentum with Rivian, it seems like. I would just watch this 42 level. That looks to be a very important level here at 42. And QS, we have a very nice little QS hold of previous highs here. We were watching 40 yesterday on the time and sales, and it was, on the level 2, and there was a huge seller stacked up. So there seems to be a lot of resistance at 40. So watch that 40. But you look at the hold you're getting right now at 38, 39. Previous highs, little triple bottom here. Watch QS today off this triple bottom. Neo is Neo. It continues to trade within this range. I need to see it above this range before I trade it. XPEV, very similar. You'd want to see it probably. Yeah, XPEV's a little weird. It's just pretty sideways, guys. I'd probably stay away from this unless you're just bullish on it long term. Maybe some resistance up here in the 55s. Sort of some levels right around where we're rejecting right now too. So right around this 49.50. So real quick, the mini Teslas for you. Let's go ahead and we got 1,000 people in here. If you guys could take a second, we only have 300 likes. If you guys could press the like button, get us to like at least half of you, 500, 600. That would be fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for all the support. So now we're going to do speed round here because we have not a lot of time. And we're going to look at BABA, SLGG, Melly, Amazon, Facebook, CVS, Starbucks, Goldman Sachs, and uranium stocks. I don't really know about uranium, but I'll try my best. And I'll throw an NVIDIA in there. So BABA, real quick, guys, it's very easy. BABA needs to get above 180. That's what I'll say. I would not trade BABA until it gets over 180. That's all. 180 needs to break. If it does not break, it's going lower. So that's what I would say. You want to see it break over 180. SLGG, I don't know about the company. I don't know about the fundamentals. You could say it's starting to bounce off this low here, and you're starting to get some momentum. But just watch this high here at 438. That would be the immediate high I'd be watching. 438 here, SLGG. So you can see it rejected already here. It's from this previous high here. So watch it again. If it gets over this 440, maybe you get a move. I don't know about the company though. Melly. Daily chart. I don't really like this, to be quite honest. Maybe you hold this. Maybe you're just trying to fill this gap here. That's what it looks like. Maybe you can fill that gap right here on Melly. If I zoom in, you can see the little gap that looks like it's going to fill. You also have the 20 SMA. So I would look for a 20 SMA hold and a gap fill hold right here. You want to see it hold 1566. That's a must hold right here. 1566 area. Amazon. So Amazon just rejected off this again. This is why you don't trade Amazon, or at least I'm not a big fan of of channel trading. I know some people like to trade in channels, but I'm not going to trade something that's in a channel like this. But if you like to, definitely looks like Amazon could be in for some downside if it does not break above this channel. So I would keep an eye on it. I don't like to trade Amazon. First of all, I haven't traded Amazon in a very long time. And I don't like that it's in a channel, so just be careful, guys. Amazon is just a dangerous stock. It can really screw you up. Facebook. Inverse head and shoulders. We're holding the 325 level. We held it pretty nicely yesterday. I know it was a little bit of a down day for Facebook, but what you guys can see is we're sort of holding up here at this level. So I would say as long as Facebook holds this 326 area, I would be bullish. You just need to see a little bit of a break of this downtrend, right? You're starting to look like you could get it. So you need to see this break of downtrend, You need to see a 326 hold. That is what I would be watching. CVS. Daily chart, CVS. Nice little pullback. I wish it was down to here because that would make me really bullish if it was down to this area. It's not quite down to that area. That would be a very nice little break and retest. It looks like you're trying to hold this gap area. So this looks like a little bit of a gap and go. It looks like you're trying to hold that gap and go level. So if I go back to the hourly, you guys can see this little gap and go area. I'll put a green area there. You can see where it's holding. If I go to the daily, see this? See how you gapped up? This is your gap and go. You're holding this previous 92. So I like that. See if CVS can continue to hold off that 92. That's a good hold. Starbucks. So Starbucks is just rejecting this downtrend, guys. Nothing new. It's been rejecting the downtrend. It did push through it temporarily, but just got wrecked. So I'm not a buyer of Starbucks here. You know, you definitely need to see it hold this level. See how many times it held here at 110. So definitely look for the 110 hold, but you need to clear this downtrend. Goldman Sachs, I'm not in it. I saw someone ask me that earlier. I took my profits on Goldman Sachs a long time ago, like 2 weeks ago. I think on this day where it started to pull back. Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. You're sort of just chopping around here at this point. I wouldn't touch Goldman Sachs here. Banks haven't been really that hot. Maybe if banks heat up again, maybe you can get a little bit of a hold, maybe of this trend line right here. But yeah, banks. I just did Facebook, guys. Are you watching? Are you watching the screen? So a little bit of a hold on Goldman Sachs. That is what I would be watching. I did almost every single stock that you guys are talking about in the chat. I've done. I'm not sure what U is. It looks like it's going up. Star tie, I don't know what to tell you, man. You're clearly not watching the screen because I literally just did Amazon. So here is U, which I'm not familiar with at all. You know, you got a nice little hold here. You can see right there. Nice hold. That was a previous level here. You got a nice push. Now, would I be a buyer up here? Probably not. I would probably want to see some kind of pullback. So if I was just a technical trader, I would need to see a pullback here. Now, if you want to trade the momentum, that's a little bit different. I would rather see a pullback to this 9 area and try to play it off that pullback. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. I need to get out of here. If you guys could, please press the like button. Press the like button for me. Help me grow this channel. Help me grow the live streams. We've gotten up to 1,000 members. That's absolutely incredible. I can't believe it. Can you do it all again for fun? Yeah, let me just restart it all. So please press the like button. Maybe get up to like 500-600. That would be great. Let me quickly. I'll quickly do the IWM because I failed to do that this morning. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's just a little pullback. I don't know. I mean, it just sort of pulled back. Maybe this, maybe IWM at this little level here, 237.50. That's definitely looking like a little hold that needs to be held up. So 237.50 on the IWM. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day. If you want to join the Discord, link down below. If you want to help support the streams, if you want to get me to look at your tickers every day, press that join button. You'll see it below my video, below the video. If you just want to press the like button before you head out, that is very appreciated as well. Subscribe if this is your first time here. I do this every day, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So thank you guys again, and have a great day and a great weekend. Peace out.